Hello, this is Dr. Natalie Lenore Blackman coming back to you with Abiding in the Secret Place. Today we are in the first few days of the month of IR, and it's a month to celebrate. It's a month of natural healing. It's a month of miracles. It's a month of secrets revealed. And I think we all need secrets revealed, and we probably all need miracles. And we've been talking a lot about self. And I'm going to put up a picture of the three-part being: the body, the soul, where the self resides, the mind, will, and the emotions, the reasoning center, and spirit. And we've talked about this three-part being as we've been talking about allowing God to be the master gardener, for God to cultivate the soil or our soul so that we can uproot all of the things that are in our soil and our soul, the traumas, the word curses, the lies that we've believed, so that we can uproot those and break out of the cycles that we have been in our whole lives. Cycles of fear, of anxiety, of depression, of anger, of frustration, of disease, okay? We're trying to break out of those cycles. And God operates on breaking cycles. We talked about Revelations 22, where he says, "Behold, I've given you the tree of life with a leaf for healing of each month." So he gives us months to walk through and to be set free, right? He gives us these months where he's going to offer us a fruit off of that tree of life. And we can plant that in our garden, or we can allow him to plant that in our garden, right? And so this week, I found it odd that I have broken 2 flower pots. And you can ask my daughter, this is pretty funny. She's gone up to people before and told them that her mom was a pot lover. And I'm like, I need to clarify that. She means I'm a flower pot lover. Like, I love collecting flower pots, and I have them, all around our pool, on our deck, all through the house. Like, I just enjoy, as we've talked about, flowers and planting and gardening, even if I'm not the best at it, obviously. And so I enjoy the flower pots. And so I broke 2 pots within 2 days of each other. And that never happens. I mean, I can't even remember the last time I broke a pot. In fact, it was probably Bo or Hannah that broke a pot playing ball or something with the dog. And so immediately I am frustrated, right? That spirit of frustration, or that fruit of frustration, rose up in me. And then I got a hold of it, and I just heard broken vessel. The Father saying the word broken vessel. And we've been talking about dying to self and the importance of dying to self. And self is part of the soul, okay? And the soul and the spirit are housed in the body. And in the scripture, God talks about us as a being as broken vessels. He says we are vessels, right? He made the body from the dirt or the clay of the earth, okay? And if that's something that is hard for you to believe, or maybe that you don't believe, or maybe you have had unbelief with, then this is the month to just sit with the Father and ask him to show you. So this is where God wants us to have that communion with him, to sit with him in the quietness and in the secret place, and ask him to show you what are the secrets that he wants to reveal, maybe also, though, what are some secrets you're hiding in your soil that you don't know about? Or maybe you do know about, right? But there can be hidden secrets that have been passed down through us, through generations that we don't know about. And they are causing cycles of disease and disarray in our life. I mean, when I first learned that 10 years ago, I was like, by God, I will get everything out of me that is not of me. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want other people's junk and other people's mistakes and other people's sins and iniquities is what the Bible calls those that are in our family lines. I don't want those to affect me. My gosh, I have a hard enough time with myself. So when you understand this, it should be a place where we say, I don't want that in my soil. All right? I want to break this cycle. And, you know, the definition of insanity has been termed repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And in my life, I see that everywhere I go. I see it in every person I meet. And, you know, you think, okay, 1 or 2 times will be enough and maybe that person will learn. But no, self doesn't learn easy. I've been in those cycles over and over and over again. And then I would find myself in the same cycle and say, how did I get here again? I thought I broke this, right? That was when I was doing the natural things to break cycles. We are uprooting. We are going after the root. And this is what I try to teach at my office, and it's so hard for so many people to understand. You should not come back with the same problem every single year, every single spring, every single fall. That's called a cycle, okay? And when we go after the root of something, we are removing the cause of the cycle. When I was in traditional veterinary medicine, when I worked in a regular day practice, and my time was very short, I went from emergency critical care, which I loved, and I spent very few years in traditional practice because of my level of frustration, okay? I had been trained my whole life in holistic medicine, and I understood roots of disease from very early age. And people would come into the office with their pets, and this is not an exaggeration. I think I took pictures of a lot of these. On the exact same day of the following year. Like, you could pull their chart, and on November the 8th, they were in for the exact same problem the year before. You could pull their chart on February 17th of this year, let's say. They made an appointment because their pet had a problem. And you could go back and look in that record. And I am not exaggerating when I say this. On the exact day, they would have been in that clinic the year before. And not for a wellness exam. We're talking about for a chronic problem, like repeat ear infections, repeat urinary tract infections, repeat respiratory infections. And I'll never forget one dog in particular. This was when I was in Durango. This lady had brought her dog in 8 years in a row for the exact same problem. And actually, that's when I made my decision to quit traditional veterinary medicine. And you could look in the chart, and the dog would be prescribed the exact same medicine, symptom control each year. And when you control symptoms, okay, you are controlling the branches and the leaves on the branch. But what happens to the root year after year? It gets bigger. The root, it continues to grow. We didn't do anything for the root. The doctors before me were just treating the leaves. And I told that lady, I made her a promise, and I said, you will not come back in here next year for the same problem, and I will see to it that this does not happen again. And we did. We food allergy tested her dog. We did allergy testing on her dog. I revamped an entire health plan for her dog, and her dog felt better than he had ever felt. And she was absolutely blown away by the results. But I'm saying that to say this. We are vessels, okay? The vessel, the body, it is been through trauma. The soul, it has been through trauma. It is broken, okay? And the way that we repair it, the way that we allow that vessel to be renewed and to be used and to be a vessel, as the Bible would say, a vessel of honor, right? That vessel was broken. It may be a vessel of shame. It may be a vessel of fear, anxiety, just torment. Fear is just causes so much torment. A vessel of disease. Disease may have always been a part of you, a part of your body. We talked about how disease becomes part of a person's identity. We talked about how a mental state becomes part of your identity. How a trauma becomes part of your identity. That's what PTSD is it became a loop in the brain. All right? That's all PTSD is it's playing a loop of trauma over and over and over and over again. But it doesn't matter that vessel is broken. It is not going to be thrown in the trash. That vessel, our vessel, it's not like the flower pots that were unsalvageable. I mean, these things shattered. They completely shattered. That's why I was so upset. You know, there's a practice in Japan where they mend their broken pots, their broken flower pots. And the more times they've been mended, you know, the more precious that pot is. Well, I love the idea of that, right? And my dad is a master mender. I mean, I give him everything to glue back. And because he's a perfectionist, you will never know that it was ever broken. But these flower pots that I broke, one after the other in 2 days, were shattered. And God was like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me how broken the vessel is. I can mend it. I can use it. Because the more broken it is, the weaker self is, right? And as we die to self, as we come to that place and we say, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this way anymore. I'm tired of this way in my life. I'm tired of things going this way. And we turn our eyes and we look to the Creator of heaven and earth and we say, fix it. Mend me. Put me back together again. But I want you to put me back together again the way you would put me back together again. Not with the pieces of my trauma, not with the generational curses coming through my family line, not with the word curses that were spoken over me, but with your word, with your love, with your light. Put me back together again, Father. I just want to be a vessel of honor. So this month, I want us to sit with the Father each day and ask Him, reveal the secrets that are in my soil that need to be removed, okay? And reveal the secrets to me that you want me to know, that you want to plant in my soil. Secrets of healing, life, love, Reveal those secrets to me, Father, and plant those in my soil and in my soul.